to Starbucks, got a coffee. They got my order wrong twice. Because he's like 6'6".
Yeah.
Right?
Yes,
Are you
sir.
6'6"?
I am.
It's not fair.
Did you ever play basketball? Yeah.
I did.
You probably already get asked that in interviews.
Yeah, I played with Kobe in high school.
With Kobe.
What?
Okay.
You didn't know that?
No, I didn't know that.
Kobe?
No, in Sunny Hill League.
So you were friends with him, or?
Okay.
I know his whole family. His sister was really good in basketball.
You still ball?
Damn.
Nah, I should. But nah.
We're good now.
So you have 2 superstars on your lineup right now. Maybe even more. You got Uzi,
Yes, sir.
Jack, Harlow.
Yes, sir.
Are you working on anybody else?
Yeah, we're working on Seti Hendricks. He's new. He's up to bat. He's phenomenal. He reminds me of somebody that's super melodic, but still has like the street feel. We have Killuminati, which is heavy on TikTok, heavy on the raps on YouTube, and Carvina, which is a new R&B artist that we have. She's dope.
What about, so you signed Sunny Digital.
We have Sunny Digital.
Recently?
We just recently did that deal.
But you signed him as an artist or a producer?
Well, we signed him as a player coach. So if you know what a player coach is, that's kind of
No.
like somebody that comes in. So a player coach in the
like a
NBA
consultant.
would be like somebody that's like coaching but still playing at the same time. So we have him in there kind of like A&R and some projects, giving us his overall look on what each artist should be doing or what they could be doing.
With aesthetic too?
With aesthetic. But
Like
you know,
overall brand?
yeah, he has a great mind, you know what I mean? So other than that, like, you know, his artistry, just working on that and just trying to, you know, build him on his dream as well.
Okay, so he's signed as an artist but also a player coach.
Yes, sir.
Nice. You're in this music game, but then you have this other venture that you're working on currently,
Yes, sir.
correct? TmrO App.
It's an extension of the music business.
Okay, right. So it's kind of like allowing entrepreneurs or self-employed people in the music industry to essentially do gig work or like contract out their skills.
Yes, sir. It's pretty much a marketplace for creatives. They have a client. We have a client side too. For the creatives, it's good because, you know, the TmrO concept came from, you know, getting paid as early as tomorrow. You know what I mean? And one of the pain points where a lot of creatives get stiffed, you know, in you know, the DMs, and you know, they do all this work, never get paid, got to chase somebody down to get blocked. But also for
So like to stop scams.
Stop.
essentially.
That was the original thought process. You know what I mean? And just to keep people working, like, you know, a lot of people are creatives. They, you know, they're cameramen, they're DJs. A lot of them have to work second jobs because they can't stay in their field. You know what I mean? Because the work is slow on some days, and I was trying to cut that down. I was running into a lot of creatives just needed constant work.
Right.
So I wanted to come up with an idea that's basically like that. You know what I mean? And it's great because now we shifted into producers and artists being able to create their own way. And what I mean by that is, you know, artists can get on there and find their producers, videographers, their mix engineers, everything that has to do with the project itself to get there to go to the next level.
And then you can create your own team if you like those people.
Yes,
right?
sir. Yes, sir.
And then also I was thinking, so that's good for people, because a lot of producers don't get paid by labels or publishing until what, like 2 quarters down the line?
Sometimes, you know, depending on what level producer you're at. Some people get paid up front before they get the job done. Some people do just advances, you know, when they do it, and, you know, go through the contract period and get, you know, done 30 days, 90
So it depends
days.
on like your clout. You have a good track record thus far.
Mm.
What do you look for in new artists? Because it seems like, honestly, Jack kind of had like a organic following originally, right?
Mhm.
Before you picked him up.
Mhm.
But Uzi, I'd say, didn't really have much going on until you helped. I'm not saying that's not anything against him,
Mhm.
but like, so what did you see in Uzi or any of the artists that you signed that you knew was like star potential?
The same thing with Jack. You mentioned that he had a following. The following was only at his hometown. It wasn't as big.
Right.
But by the time, you know, he came to us, you know, we developed it. And the one thing I see in all the artists is just some type of conviction. Somebody that really looks like they know what's going on. They have a vision, and they're headed somewhere. You know, you can see it in their eyes what really they're all about at the same time. You know what I mean? And you know, upon both conversations with all the, you know, even the newer artists, like when you sit down and talk to them, it's not just a music thing or a talent thing. It's just something that's in them that you
It's
see.
like charisma.
Yeah, it's charisma, but it's also like the vision. It's like they're talking to you and they're looking dead in your eyes. But yeah, there's almost like they're looking through, you know, through you. And I look at most of the artists that we sat down with, and I was like, man, he looks like he's in outer space talking. That means like he's convicted to a vision of what he wanted to get done or what she wanted to get done. So that's what we pay attention to most, you know.
Right. No, I've managed a couple artists. I feel like a lot of artists though they try to describe this vision, but the ones who actually are successful, they kind of like know how to get there.
Mm-hmm.
Like they write out all the steps almost.
Mm-hmm.
Did that happen?
Yeah,
Is
they
that a
all
thing?
they all had the steps. So, I mean, you know, of course, with Uzi, he already told me what he was gonna do. He's like, "Yo, I'm about to bring back having a girlfriend. I'm a rock star." You know what I mean? And I always seen him as Kurt Cobain. I know he hates that reference, but he just reminded me of someone that had pain but just knew where he was going, but always had a girl on his hip. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
yeah,
right.
Courtney was on his hip. Like it was just.
And now he has JT.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So it was like, you know, Britney was first, but I was talking about Kurt Cobain. He had Courtney, but like he always had that, and like the style from the first album, the first mixtape, after the Real Uzi was him performing, and you know the artwork. The artwork was in the crowd where he was, you know, reaching for her, and then you know the second album was basically him fighting everybody that wanted his girl. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
For you know that, and then the Perfect Love tape was basically okay. I pretty much she's gotten popular. She's staying away from me, so it's like fuck chicks get money. You know what I'm saying? And Lovers Rage too. It's like we still together, we still fighting, and you know I'm having my appeals to women and trying to figure it out. So it just the storyline goes further. The same thing with Jack. Like Jack has this thing in his head about being Mount Rushmore, one of the top artists, and his fight to get there is through all his music. You know what I mean?
Right. Like I feel like he tries to, and he does well with it. Like portray the actual skill of rapping.
Yeah.
Like that's an emphasis.
Yeah.
Now, speaking of the whole Britney and the girlfriend, so Eternal Take, I feel like that was less lovey.
Yeah. I felt like he was in transition with without having Britney around, which is the original girlfriend. Right. So he went in transition. It was like I'm on the mission to find myself.
Right.
There was a song that was in between Love Is Rage 2 and I think Eternal Take, and it was kind of like called Mission to the Loot. It never dropped, but it was like one of the highly sought after snippets, right?
I think it leaked too, right?
Yeah, pieces of it leaked. So Mission to the Loot and those songs like that were songs that he was trying to figure out where he was going. I don't have my girl, so where am I going? You know what I'm saying? Right. So that's where it led to him like, yo, I'm still outer space kid, and that's where he was going with that album, you know.
So with a lot of the songs that he doesn't release, why is that? Like exactly, is it because it may be a really good song, or he doesn't like the song, or it doesn't represent like how he's feeling at the time? Like you just said, like it was kind of a transition period where he wasn't sure.
That's a good point, and I hope this out actually,
like Red and White, like that had a lot of older songs.
I hope this actually gets out there so people can get this message. As an artist, I like references with basketball all the time because I played basketball, whatever. You're shooting jump shots, you know. If I'm an artist and I have a sketchbook, I'm gonna sketch through the 100 pages. That's all my sketches. I don't want the world to see that. This is me trying to develop a new style, me trying to find out a new way to flow, me figuring out new voices, new melodies, and then the last page you hear what comes out is my actual full sketch. Like the first page I'm drawing a leg, but the fans are taking that out and saying, yo, I found a leg, or I found a hand, I found it. Like instead of waiting for the final painting, which is the legs, hands, feet, shirt, you know, chains and everything, it's like, you know, all these 100 pieces. It's like, okay, I'm gonna add a shirt on this page. They take the shirt, like, hey, I got the shirt. And it's like, those are the snippets. And I know that they're anxious about getting the songs, but at the same time, it's in a development stage. It's like we don't go out like and say, hey,
it's not ready yet.
Yeah, I want to build a house, and then tomorrow the whole thing's up. But they're taking pictures every 5 minutes of, okay, the railing's up. Hey, I got a railing. You know what I'm saying? Oh, the soil's there. It's like we don't have a chance to develop. Like so, a lot of my beats have leaked, and it was like, bro, I didn't get a chance to put a real bass line on it. I didn't get a chance to make an 8-bar verse and 15-bar, preset
So you
or
feel
whatever.
not embarrassed it's not up to par with your skill, or like,
Well, it's not. It's not about up to par. It's just it's certain stuff that we're doing where we don't. We don't want people to see. These are songs that's like, yeah, that was cool. Because as an artist, if I'm in the booth, I'm making a beat that day. I think every beat I made is fire. The next
Until
day,
the
I'm
next
like,
day.
okay, this one's cool. The rest of them was alright. But I'm shooting jump shots, and in the miss, I feel good about all of it. But the next day, it's just like, okay,
like reviewing
I like
film.
these 2 out of 10. You know what I'm saying? Exactly. But
Yeah.
today's age, it's like they come in and they take everything you were doing. It's like you have no choice. Like Uzi, Jack, and these guys, when the stuff leaks, they have no choice of what people like. And then you got kids out there like, man, this gonna be hit. We're gonna make this a #1 record. And this, it's like, that's not what we were on. You know what I mean? They
Right.
act as if the artist doesn't know what they're doing. You liked it because the artist knew what he was doing in the first place. You know what I'm saying? Crumbs. We left crumbs and they took all the crumbs and put the crumbs out. It's like, bro, the whole cookie is right here. Let's just wait for the cookie. You know what I mean? So that's where, I want people to understand. I mean, the younger fans, I know some of them are like 12, 13, 14 years
They
old.
just want
They don't
new music,
understand.
you know?
Yeah, that's all
Yeah.
it is. But it's just waiting for it. Like, waiting for the actual project, like the Red and White project. This was something that, while we're doing something, we normally wait 2 years or 3 years to put something out. This is like, hey, let's just cheat this time and just give fans something that they all been waiting for. So with Red and White, we put out 2 new records, max, and like maybe
It was like Space
6,
Cadet,
yeah.
Final Fantasy.
Yeah, Final Fantasy was
Cigarette.
already a snippet. Cigarette was brand new. But a lot of the records were for 17 and 18. It was just like something that fans really wanted. So it was like, yo, let's just throw the snippets out in full form so they could hear
But
what
did you
it
feel
was.
ready? You
to
know what
put
I mean?
out the snippets?
To put out the 17, 18 songs.
We're ready. We're just, another thing that I wanted to get out there, like when you're putting things out for sale on a platform, you have to go through so many like variations of business. So you
Right.
have contracts to make sure people get paid. You got sample clearance.
One of them
Which
didn't make
takes-
it. Was it?
Believe me.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Believe Me didn't make it because there was a sample clearance. So
Right.
while we're working on the sample clearance, we cannot put that out for,
On the major streaming platforms. But
Exactly.
you can put it on SoundCloud.
Well, yeah, because, there's no stipulation of it, but we still want to be able to give the fans that eventually. But,
Right.
SoundCloud is immediate because you can upload it yourself. DSPs, you can upload it yourself, but it's not the right way and right for sale. So it's like a lot of those things.
More liability to get sued and things like that.
There you go. So that's where we have some of these issues where, it's like, hey, just throw out the snippets and they already heard most of it, just throw them,
I got a question real quick. Is Believe Me coming to streaming in
Yes.
the future?
Yep.
Eventually. Okay.
Yeah.
And is
It's going through sample clearance.
Is it like a Marilyn Manson sample or something?
No.
That's what- do you know what it samples?
Yes, it's a Bulgarian rock group.
Y'all couldn't clear Bulgarian.
Bulgaria.
So let me embellish on this. Is the things is as a fan. So right, if you have a sample and we're looking for clearance, normally a sample clearance takes 2 to 8 weeks because you have to go through certain channels. So a Bulgarian rock group in Bulgaria from 1970s.
So they're probably not even together.
They might not be alive.
Oh.
You know what I'm saying? You're talking about being together. They might not be together, alive, or whatever. So when you're looking for these people, some people have bought the rights to these, samples, these libraries. We have to track them down. They would have to track down somebody that speaks English to get it done. We have to make an offer. It's all those things that have to go
Negotiation.
into, exactly, that has to go into clearing the sample. You know what I mean? So that's where we were stuck. Like, when we're making music, we don't think about, I'm going to sample something from Japan. It's just, I sampled something that it felt good. Or
And then you
I can
handle it
come up
later.
with something from scratch, but sometimes we like texture. So like that old texture of something from the 70s or 80s gives us a feel. So it's like, we're creating. We're not saying, hey, we're going to sample this from Yugoslavia. Is this going to get cleared in time? We're just making fire music, and then we figure out the rest later.
And you probably test out a bunch of things, right?
Yeah, sometimes they don't even
Most
get
of them, they're
cleared.
trash too, though.
Yeah.
Like before you even get to the Like, you test out 10 samples before you actually make the beat.
Yeah. So if you think about it, I got a whole library on my computer of samples, right? And I just go through them. I don't go and be like, hey, this is from France. I wonder if it's going to get cleared. Now, I just create, because that's what create is. You don't stop yourself from doing this. Like, hey, I wonder if we'll be able to use this this camera because it's somebody else. Like, you don't go through all that. You figure it out later. You know what I mean?
You do a bunch of these samples not knowing if it's going to get cleared.
Mm-hmm.
And you can release it on SoundCloud. And similar to like the leaks and snippets that go out to the public, doesn't that help the career of the artist sometimes? Like, would you say Uzi has benefited from these leaks, snippets, or songs that couldn't get cleared and those ended up being leaks or snippets? You get what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, that's another part of the snippets. Like, some of the stuff we don't know if we can clear it. The number one thing for us is not just we can't clear, let's go to SoundCloud. We don't do that. We try not to put anything out until we clear it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But, something would believe me, we already had like it in motion. You know what I mean? So it could get cleared. So it's like, it's not something where we just want to use something and put it out for free as long as it's not used. Like, that's not the right thing to do. I wouldn't want nobody to do that to me.
So you've never leaked anything purposely?
No.
Because I feel like artists do that.
Artists leak, but I'm not an artist. They go against what we would be is the mainframe. If an artist wants to leak their record, that's on them. But me, I don't leak any music. Anybody tell you me, I hold things to the end.
Well, when I say you, I mean like you as a collective.
No. I don't like leaking music. I don't like putting out music only because I'm a perfectionist. So I like to make sure that the record is right before I put it out, mixed and everything. That's why when we hear certain records come out, and I don't know how the kids be like, it don't sound the same. It's not mixed right. It's not this.
Right.
I don't put things out for that reason. I don't leak any music. I want that shit to be right. You know what I'm saying? Before we go out, because then you run into these issues. You run into sample clearance. You run into mixing wrong. We first came in, he was like, hey, y'all changed the synth. The synth was never changed. But we never know that if those other things never came out. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So that's where I'm like, me personally, or, even like drum, or, some people, there's no fun in leaking records. Before, when it was YouTube and everything, we were building an artist, we're putting out music, maybe, but that's not leaking, that's putting out a project. Like, having a leak and that, like, nah. You know what I'm saying?
So you're saying it doesn't benefit?
At all. You know what I mean?
So what I was getting at was, obviously you guys are close with Playboi Carti. You don't have to speak on anything specific, but Whole Lotta Red kind of blew up because of the leaked versions. You know what I mean? Whether he did it on purpose or not, I feel like it's in like the Kid Cudi Pissy Pamper song. He kind of like went to a whole nother level because that went viral because of the leak.
Yeah, that wasn't his fault though.
I wasn't saying it was his.
Yeah, if somebody was leaking his songs or something. But I doubt it. He want to put it out because I don't think I don't know. I don't know what it is, but I have this thing that when records come out, somebody either gave it to somebody and it came out. But I would go on record and say that I can't say that. Any artist that wants to do what they want to do, they can do it. But I don't think people are leaking their music because people, when they got a record, they're excited. So I know if Carti has a record with, Kid Cudi, he's excited. I know he doesn't want that to leak. You know what I'm saying?
He loses out on all the money and
but not even that. It's just I want to prepare something for the world. Like
make sure the rollout's good.
Yeah, doesn't it feel good if I got a song with Jay-Z that I want to leak it? That doesn't make any sense.
Well,
or I got a song with Kid Cudi which all the fans love that it's gonna come out. It doesn't make any sense.
I think that the reason people think that is because sometimes when you say work with a big artist, they can't clear it because maybe the feature price or whatever is too high. Or they're an independent artist and like the label dealings is weird.
Where does that come from though? Like, where do people make this stuff up? Like, where that comes from? Like,
it all comes from Playboi Carti. Literally. No, because he has so many
Listen, Carti is such a hot artist. He doesn't have to worry about Kid Cudi clearing a record, bro.
Oh, I'm not talking about him not getting no, he's fine. I'm talking about like he'll have I'm not gonna name the person, but they just released a song on SoundCloud, and they were people thought they were cool, at least, like Cardi and this person, but then it got removed like the next day for copyright issues.
It might be coming out later. That's the problem. Yeah, that's
Right.
the thing with these leaks. What I keep telling, like, the kids are leaking and having snippets. This is against what the artist is having. Like, these records that are getting out there, like, nobody wants them out. Again, if I have a song with Jay-Z and Nicki Minaj, I don't want the shit to get leaked. I don't want no snippet. I don't want nothing. I want to talk about it and have y'all warmed up for it.
Speculate over it.
Yeah, like it's sad that the newer generation, like Uzis and Cardis and stuff, they have to go through the leaks, because, man, it's some great music that has to be improved to be presented to the fan, and they don't get a chance because it's out. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like, I have tons of songs that are amazing, but a lot of them are snippets. Like, we can't even go.
But what if
to it.
Uzi previewed it? You can't read
That's
it?
fine, because if
Okay.
he's previewing it on his page, you're not getting the highest quality of the song.
Okay.
But, you know, the fans get so thirsty, they go looking and deep diving and, you know, looking for these records and wind up, you know, clipping somebody. You know, I get emails every day like, hey, man, somebody hit me about getting some sessions. I'm like, bro, I would never hit nobody about getting a session for, like, the beat. Everybody we know is, I can call on the phone, they know my voice. Like,
Right.
you know what I'm saying?
I feel like fans also ruin the releases with the snippets, because then they like overplay it, and like you said with the mixes, they think a good mix is like coming out of, I always say, like a stripper's asshole type, but then
Yeah.
but then you know the actual mix because you're sitting there and doing it.
Yeah, but even that, like, if I'm on IG Live and I'm playing a song, that's not actually mixed. That's audio from inside an app. Like,
That's
that's
what
not
I'm saying.
it. But
Yeah.
then when you put the real version out, it's like, it don't sound the same. Well, you never even heard the song.
Right.
You heard you know what I mean? You heard a snippet on IG. You didn't hear the actual mix. So that's what I meant by, like, the leaks and stuff. They're wrong in the sense of, we're not getting our true, you know what I'm saying, thought off. It's like, you know, I'm LeBron James and I'm about to do a 360 windmill, and then as soon as I get to the rim, the camera pans this way, and it goes back. It's like, oh my God, you didn't see what I did. You know what I'm
Right,
saying?
right.
You don't see where I'm going. Like, you did. I almost did 360, but I switched it up, did a back dump. So it's like, it's just, you know, I actually hate the leaks, bro. I ain't gonna lie. I ain't gonna.
It seems
it's
like it.
It's bad for business. It's bad for just the integrity of music, and it's premature. Like, everything's so premature.
I just feel like now, because it's become so popularized, newer artists in this generation, this upcoming, which I also want to ask about, they leak their own stuff because they thought that other people did as well.
Mhm.
And so it's like a new marketing strategy.
Yeah, I mean, I can see that happening for a lot of people. I just know for us in our camp, we try not to do that. You know what I mean? We always wanted to be the first one for people to hear, but we wanted to hear in the body of work. Like, even when we did mixtapes back in the day, those were business cards. Like, I always looked at me and Drama as, like, if you're selling something on QVC, I don't know if that's before your time, bro.
Yeah, I don't know that.
So QVC was like the home shopping network. It used to come on TV, like your grandmas and your grandparents used to watch it, and they used to sit in front of the TV and buy stuff all day with a click of a button or calling up on a phone, right? But on QVC, when you're selling a product on TV, they always had a salesman in front of it. You know what I'm saying? The salesman was come, hey, get the Kim Kardashian headphones right now. Call 800. It's like on the screen, right? And they're making this big deal and selling you how great these headphones are. You can swim with them. You can hear them. So, like, in turn, that's how we looked at it with our mixtapes. It was like each artist, we were the person like, yo, you better listen to this artist. I'm telling you, he's one of the best artists out. Listen, his voice is dope. His raps is dope. He picks the right beats. He has a look. The cover is fire. That's how we were doing mixtapes. We were the billboard for these artists. You know what I mean? And
Which is how you guys originally became famous.
yeah, because we were really
Yeah.
we were really Phil Jackson. We was telling them, hey, Mike is about to be Mike.
Right.
Watch him. And they're like, oh man, he's Magic Johnson. You know what I'm saying? It's like, no, this is Michael Jordan. I'm telling y'all. And then he becomes Michael Jordan, and then, you know, that's where, you know, we get stuck. So now it's like, I could see some of the people in other camps trying to get hot by leaks because they don't have a mixtape platform anymore, or they don't have like, all they could do is get on IG or these social media and just show them I'm the best out. You know what I mean? So I could see that happening. But again, I'm an advocate against leaks. I hate it.
Okay, so moving on to the upcoming artists. Do you listen to any of these like newer school people?
Yeah, I have to, because I'm just passionate about.
It's like
new
Kanye.
things.
You gotta. I said a quote the other day from him. It was like, to seek inspiration, you have to look at the children and the homeless.
Mm.
So yeah, as you're saying, you have to see what music's like progressing to, right?
Yeah, and I just love new things. You know what I'm saying? And it goes down to my sneaker fetish. Like, people be like, "Are you a sneaker collector?" And I'm like, "No, but I know everything about the sneakers." I'm not a collector because I don't follow the rules of a collector. But I always want a fresh.
Because you wear them.
Yeah, I want a fresh sneaker. Like, I want to come outside, and I just want new sneaks. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Do I know the names of them? Yeah, but that doesn't make me a collector, because deep down, the collection of this stuff is like knowing why the sneakers were laced, why they built it like that. Like, I got a friend, he was telling me about some sneaks. He was like, "Yeah, you can only get these at Space Camp. That's why they're so special." Like, I'm not into that. If I like them, they're fire, I buy them. And I do know the names of them. I know Jordan 3s, I know Bordeaux's, I know that, but that doesn't make me a collector. So the same thing in music. Like, I want new things. I want to hear who's new. Like, you know what I'm saying? If I see Friday, and New Music Friday is Rod Wave, and then you have, NBA Youngboy, you have Little Baby, all these guys are just out. I want to know who's who and what's what. So, I continue to every Friday get on Spotify or Tidal sometimes, because they got credits, and just figure out who produced the record. Who is that? Just last night I was listening to New Music Friday, and I was listening, Nicki Minaj had a new song, and I was like, "Damn, the beat is rocking. Who did the beat?" So I had to go look at the credits, and I found out somebody on there, a new girl producer. I think her name was Malibu. And then I looked up the rest of her stuff, and she did the new record with Megan Thee Stallion. I'm like, okay, so now I know who that is. So if I ever run to her the street, she's like, "Hey, I'm a big fan." I'm like, "Hey, I know you." You know what I'm saying? I want to like, so I want to know everything about everybody, like the newer rappers. I'm not into the personal business of the rappers. I'm just listening to music. You know what I mean?
Right.
I like a lot of people.
Are you a bigger fan of producers than artists? Because I feel like producers, especially now, beats like carry hip hop, at least in my opinion, like 60 to 70%, and they kind of start the sound, whereas the rappers kind of like emphasize it.
Mm-hmm. I'm 50-50. So I love artists, but I also love the producer. The producer, there's different things. There are beat makers, there are producers, there's artists. There are writers.
And just for the people who don't know the difference between producer and beat maker, the beat maker makes the beat, obviously.
Beat makers are
producers,
programmers.
like everything.
Yeah, they're programmers. Producers are ones that have a vision for where the song is supposed to go.
Right.
In their opinion.
The executive producer.
For the producers, like, I do love what they do, but I love the artists as well. Like, the artist is, a lot of people don't know this. Like, you can make beats to death, but the artist ultimately is the last instrument. They take it there, and their vocals is like the way you take it out of here.
It's like the human connection.
There you go. The beat is cool, and we can sit here and listen to beats for days, but when the artist is in there, that's the last instrument. Sometimes when songs go wrong, it could be the artist was the wrong instrument too.
True.
You know what I mean?
What do you think about first week sales? Like the whole discussions about that.
You want to talk about first week sales? For me, I don't like them. I'm not an analytical person. Like, I don't think, because
it's just straight quality. Like, is the music good? Whatever.
Yeah, because it doesn't show where you're going. Like, you could have 42,000 sales, and it's like, "Oh, he didn't do well. He's falling off."
He flop.
It's like, bro, like, what are you talking about? They just did it with Uzi. He did 22,000 on Red and White. He's used to doing 200-300 on a project. I said, man, it's multiple variations, but do I need to speak on it? Pink Tape was what he been pushing for the past year. That's what they're waiting on. Like, he put out this.
It was kind of like an impromptu, surprise thing.
Yeah, he put on SoundCloud. Of course, the sales aren't going to be the same. You know what I mean?
Right.
But that's why I'm like, man, I don't really buy the analytic part. Like, it's always good to do numbers. Mm-hmm. It's always good to go number one. But at the same time, like, That's not what I'm living for. Like, I'm not gonna be like,
So you don't think there's
Destroy Lonely only did 10,000 for.
So you know Destroy Lonely.
I know everybody.
So you know Destroy. Okay.
I know everybody. So yeah, I'm just giving you an example. You know, it could be
Right.
Sofago. It could be anybody. I'm just saying. At some point, I'm not gonna judge them based on what they did the first week. They're artists. They're going somewhere. You know, it's either for me or it's not for me. You know?
Right. I agree. So back to the question about the upcoming rappers.
Yeah.
So out of this new class with the Destroy Lonely, we got Baby Santana, we got Sofago, we got Summers, we got Ken Carson, so on and so forth. Who are your favorites? I'm not gonna like single out one, but like who you think is the leader or are the leaders of it? Progressing the sound forward. I'm not talking about like
so you're
numbers
talking about
anymore.
that level, the people that are on the way.
Who are going to be the next Uzis,
Okay.
the next Jacks, the next.
I will go on record and say that Sofago is very talented. He has some multiple styles and he's dope.
Right. But it's also image too that he has.
It's image, but people haven't heard some of the music I've heard.
Mm-hmm.
They was like, whoa. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So I think that once people get to hear it, they'll understand what I'm saying. I do like Ken Carson is dope. I like Yeet. People don't even know how talented Yeet is. Like
Right.
some people might be like, I don't like his songs, that's fine. But the homie really engineered himself. He picked beats, he cropped stuff, he know how to mix. He know how to do a lot of stuff that people just come outside and just rap. So
Right.
once I saw and seen that, I was like, oh, okay.
Like he is the producer too.
Dude is really good at what
Mm-hmm.
he do. Now, wherever he's going is where he's going. I'm just saying what I saw, they're good. You know what I mean? So
Right.
Fago is good to me. Like they like the top dudes. Like I like Ken Carson, he dope for what they do. Destroy Lonely. I watch all of them. Like I like all the new kids. It's a dude from New York named Kells. I don't know if y'all familiar with him. He's dope.
I've heard his name.
He's dope as hell. But it's just random people like I just tend to pay attention to make sure like I'm on top and just know what's going on. You know what I mean?
And then Uzi's obviously working with these people.
Yeah,
Like Yeet.
Uzi works with everybody. It's the same thing.
Sofago.
Yeah, he's just like he peeps things. He watches and sits there. It's like, oh, I like what he's doing. He really loves this shit. I'm gonna work with him. You know what I'm saying? Like
To give like a look.
Yeah, so you like see some random like features that he be doing. It's either a relationship that he's kept with the person that he really fucks with, or he really just was like, yo, I've been watching their movement. They really, until they pop off, they're gonna be. I want to be a part of that movement. I want to help them.
He just wants to give them a platform.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to, extend the olive branch or just hand a baton to certain people.
It's like good karma, like give back to what you've accomplished.
Yeah, it's part of the
far.
culture. Like we're giving the next person a chance.
When can we expect Pink Tip?
Oh man, that's a tough question.
You guys don't even know, probably, right?
I know. I just can't say.
Oh, okay, yeah. No, you don't have to say.
Yeah, because things change, and that's what we do too. We give out a
And there
date,
could be leaks.
and we change. This ain't gonna leak.
Okay.
It's
You don't know the
it's
power of the Uzi detectives.
Hey, it's in my possession.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, we
It's,
gotta talk on that. So we discussed this earlier. You said off camera, hacking these artists is not real.
Well-
It's simply SIM swap or fish.
Let me clarify. This
Okay.
stuff happens from people getting emails saying, "Hey, you've been hacked. Log into your account so we can make it,
Like to your
secure."
Instagram, and they give you the
And
log.
people be like, "Oh snap!" and they log in, and it's like, It's not working. I've been hacked. Really, that's how you're getting hacked. You know what I'm saying? Most of the time when people are like, "Yo, people hacked my songs, came out, da da da," you passed it to somebody to listen to, they leaked it or sold it to somebody for some money. That's how it happens. Like,
Right.
I know a lot of people that have things in their phones that have never leaked for years, 9 years, and then it's like, oh, they must be super secure. And no, it's more like
It's more their accounts though that
Yeah.
get hacked, not
Like-
their phone.
Like my phone, I know when things are wrong. I get multiple text messages from iCloud accounts. Like, so it'll be like,
Saying like you forgot your
yeah,
password.
it'll be like, it'll say like, Playboy Cardi at iCloud. Yo, bro, remember that song we did last night? Can you send it to me again? It's like, bro, I know what's going on. That man will
God.
FaceTime me. You know what I'm saying? Or like, anything. I just get random one. I got one the other day. It was like, yo, the file's not working. Can you resend them? I'm like, what song? And it was like, for this. And it's like, bro,
That was made in like 2017.
So
Why do you need
those are the things that I'd be like, okay, I know people can hack into your stuff, but it's all set up by
right?
these logins or these.
And that happens like every day, probably.
Yeah, people are looking for stuff. Even this, it's like you're passing something. Like if we're in the studio and most of the time you hear these snippets, people are in the corner recording it. You know what I mean, and putting it on the internet. But we might be close friends, and I might be like, you know, I might
Let them have their clout.
I might give it to somebody, and you know, they leave their phone somewhere, or somebody runs up on their phone and like watches their password, steals it, sends it to. It's all that type of stuff going on. Nobody's like, hey, I'm gonna hack his phone and take all the songs out of it. I've never experienced that in my years.
Well, like an iPhone's probably so hard to hack anyway. Like
Yeah.
they make these things not to get hacked.
Yeah, but it's just like, how you doing it? Like how you hacking it? Like it's just weird. Like
Well,
it
the
always
government
comes
can't
from-
even hack an iPhone. They have to like ask Apple to
let 'em get in.
decrypt a message or something.
Yeah, so it's just like I feel it, you know what I'm saying? But at the same time, I'm just like, I don't buy it. It's like people like are giving songs. I know if a song gets leaked, it's because I gave it to somebody and they was careless with it, or they gave it to somebody. I know that's what it is. 9 times out of 10, I'm not gonna say somebody broke in my phone and stole the song. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? You know what I mean? So
Okay,
that's
so they're all
just-
frauds.
so they say. You know what I mean?
I'm gonna get hacked after this.
Yeah, please don't hack my phone.
Yeah. Okay, so that concludes the interview with Don Cannon. Check out his TmrO app.
Sign up, set up a portfolio, and on the portfolio, people like me or clients, we can go and see your work and, you know, hopefully hire you and get some money.
Go get you some money. All right, peace out.
Peace.
Wait, I got some questions. I need to ask these.
Ask.
All right, so I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 questions.
Easy.
They're all fast.
Easy.
All right. How is like TikTok influenced the new wave of artists and like how you discover artists?
It influence for people that are into analytics and the show. I'm not into the show. I'm not
So,
looking at Instagram for artists.
So yeah, okay. So you don't look at like how viral they go for like. when you see an artist?
Rarely.
All right.
If you go viral, more than likely there's going to be a bidding war. You know what I mean? I think TikTok and social media is for the lazy. People are going to go in there and just sit in a chair on a couch and find who's talented. You
Hasn't
know what I mean?
it given artists more power, though?
Sometimes. That's
'Cause,
why
like,
I said
if
the bidding
they
war
go-
happens.
yeah.
Yeah. 9 times out of 10, if there's a bidding war, it doesn't work. That's just me.
But do you think it's beneficial for artists like to grow?
For the bidding war, yeah.
All right.
Yeah, it's worked.
So you try to get these artists before TikTok finds them.
Yeah.
Or else you won't get a good deal.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
All right, so you publicly stated that you weren't the biggest fan of TmrO Take when it dropped. Like you said, like good friends don't let friends drop bad music, and then you said you were a bad friend. Like
That wasn't about Uzi.
that wasn't about Uzi.
No.
Okay, so just clearing that up. So you liked the TmrO Take when it
Yes.
came
I
Alright.
liked it. My favorite song is Pop.
out?
Me too.
Yeah.
The Balenci.
That statement wasn't that. That was something else.
Alright.
That's has something to do with social media. When you say something, they automatically put it to that.
So
Now,
you liked a TmrO Take.
yes.
All right, good. So
Yes.
like, so the fans need to know that. Like
Yes.
the Uzi fans were like weird.
No. I liked that album. There was a lot of joints on there. You Better Move. I liked a lot of songs on there. That was something else.
We just need to clear that
They
up.
just take it and run with it. It just happened to be at that time. You know what I mean? But yeah, that wasn't that.
All right, and then my next question is: was the red and white track list planned like beforehand, or was he just
No.
like off picked up?
No, he did it on his own.
So he like uploaded those, he chose them.
Yep.
That's good to know. So there was like a disconnect between you and Uzi, like for like a couple years, like the free Uzi. Like, was that real or was that like promotion for like the album?
If I told you, it'd spoil the fun. Nah, but
It seems as though everything they do is real.
Yeah.
Like nothing is
It
nothing
felt
is on
real,
purpose.
but, like, at the same time, a lot of people were saying it's fake. Like,
Yeah.
no way.
So we never lost touch. It was just there's sometimes when artists want to go find themselves, and I would be a fool if I didn't allow anybody to go do what they were supposed to be doing. So when he wanted to do different music, and fans like, hey, go explore, bro. Go off to college. I'm not here to put a blanket on you and make you do everything. I'm just here to assist your vision. So that's why most of the fans probably thought it was separate, but didn't even know we'd be talking. You know what I mean? But again, and when you become a superstar, some of the fans don't understand what you got to go through, and it make people turn against you, make people feel a certain way. But it was never that, ever. You know what I'm saying? In the midst of all that, I was in Philly at one of the studios he was recording, making beats, and it's watching it. Twitter is so funny. It's like, oh shit, he said that. That's cool.
Oh,
You know what I mean? Unless he came to me and was like, man, fuck you, I don't fuck with you. And I'm like, all right, cool. Then that's what it is. But he never ever said that. You can ask him. He never
Well,
ever said that.
just the words online, though. I'm not trying to incriminate him, though. He did say, like, free Uzi from the label and whatever.
Hmm.
And,
Every
like,
artist
the
wants
issues
to be
with
free.
DJ Drama. And
There was never no
yeah.
issues.
People say like he fucked these.
he's fucked his girl.
Yeah, like,
Bro, it's all fun and games, bro. Listen,
So the internet's
what's going
just not
on
real.
now? Nothing's going on. It's red and white. You're here. It's growing pains. And we never went on the internet and said nothing crazy because it was nothing crazy. So we just wanted to let it live and let the fans enjoy the roast. You know what I'm saying?
it was a fun time.
Yeah.
I'll tell you that.
Yeah, it was.
Like how he put the clown emoji over Jack.
Yeah.
Jack was fire. I don't know why.
Bro, okay, so if there was a problem with Jack, like he was just on TMZ or whatever praising him.
With him,
You see what I'm saying?
or
It's not
talking
like
about him.
Together like that. Like, yeah.
it's just it is what it is, and he's truthful for whatever he's speaking. I just don't know what angle it is, so I try not to figure it out. I don't want to figure out nobody's angle because everything is real in person. If
But I
we're
feel
in
like-
person and we have a disconnect, then it's a disconnect. But if I'm in person, there's no disconnect, then it means nothing. Social media is fake. It's just bullshit. I never believed nothing on that shit.
I feel like a lot of these artists are also super young and they're like growing and they're not like fully mature yet.
And I'm older, so I understand
you're
that.
you're like a dad to them.
Yeah, so like anybody that's going through that, again, I said it's growing pains. I'm letting people go through all the stuff. You know what I mean?
All right, my next question is like more of a niche question. Like, are you aware of like the people who are like the major hackers? Like Waterfalls, for instance. Have you heard that name before?
Mm-hmm. I know all of them.
That's like, what do you like? What do you say to them?
I can't. They're in a life somewhere. I don't know what house they're at. I don't know. You know what I mean? You want to send the FBI to come get them? I don't know nothing about them. I just know where the songs are coming from. You know what I mean? We got a team that can handle most of the stuff, but it's like, what am I gonna do? Just go out in the world, start fighting everybody over a leaked song. Like I can't do so much. Like there's certain kids that's actually cool. Like the dude on IG, Uzi Og. Like he's a cool dude. You know, he has some stuff on there on his page. I'm like, damn, where the hell did you get this shit? But it's not like I'm gonna track you down. No, I'm not Leah.
He's not a leaker, I don't think.
Yeah, like it's just some of those things. It's like, bro, what can I do? These are fans that love this shit. You know what I mean? Whether they're selling it or being a part, it's nothing I could do.
But your hackers, they're like 14. Just tell their mom, like they'll stop.
Yeah, but it's
He
just
doesn't know
like,
their mom.
yeah, it's just like, what am I gonna do? Like, I'm gonna go back and forth. Like, I'll just leave it alone. You know what I mean?
Yeah. All right, and my last question: will the fans hear all the snippets they want to hear eventually? That's like for the fans. I have to ask that.
That's like wanting to see every 3-point that Steph Curry missed. You know what I'm saying? Like, do you really want to watch him miss shots or make shots? I'd rather you watch me shoot it from half court and make it. So that's like a fair enough answer in my opinion. But we always dabble about doing an album like Lil Wayne did, where it was called The Leaks, and it was like a bunch of records. We always
Keith does that. Like,
Yeah.
The league.
we dibble and dabble with it, but sometimes it's like, man, let's just produce something great for them to walk with instead of giving them stuff that we was just scratching, doing sketches on.